Hey guys, Danimation here, and Halloween is rapidly approaching, so I thought it was the perfect time to talk about Halloween. Now, if you watch this channel, or if you're an avid follower of mine, you may know that I am a massive horror fan, a massive slasher fan. I love Friday the 13th, I love Nightmare on Elm Street, I love Scream, Chucky, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but Halloween is the big one. Halloween is the classic. And yes, I know Texas Chainsaw Massacre came first, but when people think of like a genre-defying film for horror, they think of Halloween. To be fair, when most people think of a genre-defying film, they think of Star Wars, but after multiple other films like that, they then think of Halloween. So instead of talking about the most recent Halloween kills, or talking about the 1978 original for my first review like a sane person, I thought I'd go to what I think is the most underrated, underappreciated, most overlooked movie in the franchise. And I absolutely love this one. I really do like this one. And that would be Rob Zombie's Halloween. Seriously, I really do like this take on Michael Myers. Rob Zombie's film was absolutely incredible. I'm not gonna say it was like an Oscar-worthy movie, and like that it holds a candle to like 78 or 2018, but it's up there. And honestly, there's a really tragic story behind this one. You've probably all heard of it, but Mustafa Akkad and his daughter was killed in an attack committed by people who, if I say their name, I'm gonna get demonetized. But yeah, tragedy struck. And Akkad was basically the grandfather of Halloween. He basically paid for every single movie. He was like the only person up until now who's worked on every single movie in the Halloween series. So after his death, John Carpenter just basically went to Rob Zombie and say, hey, make Halloween your own, make your own movie, do whatever you want. Just have the classic William Shatner mask, and call him Michael Myers, and have Laurie Strode in it, and you can basically make whatever movie you want. And despite Carpenter and Zombie maybe not having the best relationship, he did really make a good movie. It was probably the best horror remake of all time. But given that other horror remakes are basically Michael Bay crapping all over the original, yeah, it's kinda easy to get that title just by not being produced by Michael Bay. So instead of being just basic internet dum-dums and just, jump into conclusions after only watching a movie once, why don't you just sit down, rewatch the first Rob Zombie movie, and ask yourself, was this movie really that bad? Or just let me point out all the cool stuff, because really that's what I'm here for. Let's start with the number one person people think of when they think of the Halloween movies. No, not Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay, the second person people think of. This movie's Michael Myers is absolutely poop-your-pants terrifying. Way more than any other version. Why is that? Because he's like 6'8"! I think hiring former wrestler Tyler Mane to play Michael Myers was one of the best decisions ever made in casting in a horror film, probably ever. Simply because slasher villains are always scarier when they're bigger. Just forget about Freddy for a minute, okay? He's an exception. Think like Jason. Like, you guys love Kane Hodder as Jason, and he is huge. So why not Michael Myers? And honestly, yeah. I love Kane Hodder as Jason. I also love Tyler Mane as Michael Myers. He's no James Jude Courtney in the recent movies, but he's still really good. Remember, he's the guy who threw Wolverine off the Statue of Liberty. Also, the mask in this movie is notoriously awesome. This is probably the coolest Michael Myers mask ever. Just, the aging effects look awesome, the, stitches, the, scars and all that. It is terrifying. And it definitely works for the type of movie Rob Zombie wanted to make. Similar to Tyler Mane's casting and just the size of Michael Myers, the mask. Really, it all worked for the type of movie Rob Zombie wanted to make. And without the Rob Zombie mask, do you really think they would have got the idea for the 2018 mask? I mean, seriously, they probably just would have gone for a plain white William Shatner mask again. And I know a lot of people may not like this, but I do think that showing Michael's childhood was a good decision. Michael needed a motive. Without a motive, he's just nothing. He's just a big guy wearing a white William Shatner mask cutting people up. He's not anything else. Without a motive or a proper backstory, he's not a real character. Now he is. He's more than the Shape now. Because in literally every other movie, when he doesn't have a backstory, he might as well just be called the Shape. He doesn't even need the name Michael Myers. Because apparently, they don't need to humanize him. I'm not criticizing any other movie for that. I love the other movies. If you don't want to humanize Michael Myers, that's cool. That's fine. But you may as well just call him the Shape then. In this movie, really does humanize Michael Myers. It really proves that he does have a human name. He is a human being. He's not the essence of evil that Dr. Loomis may believe he is. And Michael's childhood story brings me right into my next point. Just like with Michael, Laurie had perfect casting. She's played really well by Scout Taylor Compton. I mean, to be fair, no actor's going to be as good as Jamie Lee Curtis, but that's just only because she is Laurie Strode. There's no disputing that. But for a successor, I can't think of anyone I'd ever want in the role other than Scout Taylor Compton after Jamie Lee Curtis. Perfect casting, perfect character. She's basically the same as Michael, just the perfect casting for an iconic character. I also think it was a smart decision to have Laurie be Michael's sister and establish it in the first one this time. That's the one criticism I have with the original Halloween movies. If you're gonna have the biggest reveal of the movies be something as important, as timeline changing as Laurie and Michael being related, you need to establish it in the first one. Have you ever thought that not everyone who was a fan of the first one has seen the second one? Huh? You think about that? Again, no criticisms. But, actually, no. To hell with it. This is a criticism. Why did you wait until the second one? Okay? All criticisms aside, establishing it in the first one was a good move. Sorry if I can't... Oh god, I'm doing it again. Sorry if I can barely get my words out. That's because I'm a tired old idiot. But still, Scout Taylor Compton was amazing casting. She's honestly a lot more believable for a teenage Laurie than Jamie Lee Curtis in the first one. I know, everyone's gonna break into my house and try to kill me for that, but still, when you think about it, you always think of Laurie as an adult in the first movie. Simply because Jamie Lee Curtis was like 20 when she did that movie. Scout Taylor Compton is much more believable for playing a high school student. Malcolm McDowell's in the movie, enough said. Oh, you want me to keep going? Okay, fine. Similar with Laurie, Malcolm McDowell was the perfect successor to play Dr. Loomis from Donald Pleasance. I think he's actually a better role for playing a psychiatrist. I mean, no one can hold anything over Donald Pleasance. He's an amazing actor, rest in peace. But still, he didn't exactly act like a psychiatrist in anything after the fourth movie. I just can't see any other psychiatrist just rambling about, he shot him 6 times! And I can't see Malcolm McDowell doing that either. So yeah, I think he's playing a more professional character. As for the supporting cast, Rob Zombie, he has to have his wife in the movie. Hey, at least she's actually playing a character this time. I mean, was Michael's mother even a character in the original Halloween? She just stood there. She didn't even have any lines. I mean, I bet in, John Carpenter's original script, it says, Michael's parents stand next to him as he just stands there holding a knife, and that's all the character she gets in the first movie. In this one, yeah, it works. Same with Judith. Judith is actually a good character here. I mean, yeah, you know she's gonna die, because her dying is what creates Michael Myers, but still, she is the perfect casting and the perfectly written, pretty much bully sister. She completely bullies Michael and is the biggest jerk in the world. I was really trying not to swear there. She's the biggest piece of crap in the world. There we go, I did it. But I'm not going to get demonetized for that. Okay, I'm rambling on. She's just the biggest piece of crap in the world that you know she's gonna die, but you want her to. You think that she deserves what Michael is about to do to her. Same with his stepfather. He's the biggest piece of crap in the world, that everyone hates him, and that he deserves his early death in the movie. But still, the best piece of casting is Sheriff Brackett. He's played by Brad Dourif, the voice of Chucky. You can't beat that. The voice of Chucky was in a Halloween movie. I love it. This is the character who I now call Sheriff Chucky. So now that you've heard me ramble on about the characters in this movie, I hope that you think it's just a little better than you originally thought. What am I saying? You don't give a crap about my opinion. I'm a dumb internet boy. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Danimation. Please subscribe. I am desperate.